Hey guys, welcome back to Girl Crush Extra. I have Rachel Bilson here from Heart of Dixie. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, I can't wait for you to give me like all the Heart of Dixie spoilers.
If I had
But
them.
before we get into that, I have a bone to pick with you.
Uh-oh.
So my job is kind of to like stalk your life before you come in here.
Okay, cool.
You don't have a Twitter.
I don't have a Twitter.
It's so much harder for people to stalk you.
Maybe it's a good thing.
Why don't you have a Twitter?
I don't know. I just don't find myself wanting to be like, I just ate a burrito and like talk about it.
I get that.
You know,
Since
I'll
she
just
doesn't-
text you whenever I eat a burrito and then we can go from there.
Perfect. Okay, so since you don't have a Twitter and I couldn't stalk you, we're going to talk about Heart of Dixie.
Okay.
The first episode aired last week.
It did.
And initially your character Zoe was in New York, but went back to Bluebell.
She did.
So tell us a little bit about what trouble she's going to be causing in Bluebell.
Well, it's interesting, you know, because the whole series started off with her fish out of water from New York, and then all of a sudden she feels that she belongs in Bluebell, so she decides to stay, and everyone has a bone to pick with her because they're blaming everything on Zoe. So yeah, it's gonna take her a minute for everyone to warm up, but once they do, it's like her family, and she belongs there, which is really weird, and I still haven't wrapped my head around it, but she does. And
One of your fans on Twitter wanted to know, have you ever felt like a fish out of water like Zoe does?
sure, every day, because I'm kind of weird sometimes. I don't know, I guess I'm goofy and clumsy, and I always put my foot in my mouth.
That's okay. I always put my foot in my mouth too. It's when you like talk too much. And you're
It's
like, I should have
really-
just stopped like 2 sentences.
Yeah, no, it happens all the time, and I have been trained to think before I speak.
Well, that's good. I still have not mastered the art of thinking before you
It's
speak.
really hard.
So I apologize in advance. So last season, Zoe's always kind of had a love triangle with George
Yes.
and Wade, and now Joel is in the picture, so you have like a love square.
Exactly,
Your
there's
love
different
thing is
shapes.
getting
Always
really big.
Yes.
Okay, so how long are we gonna see Joel in the picture?
Well, I think for a little while. I think that Zoe is very happy and content in this relationship. So I think that he's gonna be around a while.
Wade is a character that Zoe has always had like this crazy chemistry connection with.
Yeah.
Do you think he's the one for Zoe?
That is a very loaded question. I think it's an interesting question. It's kind of funny because it was originally supposed to be George, and then as things kind of evolved, it turned out to be Wade. And I don't know, I feel like maybe they're the hero couple, but maybe they're not. It's still a little murky at this point.
If you could choose
Oh, God.
for Zoe, Wade, George, Joel, or just somebody else, who would it be?
A lot of
Lavon.
people. Lavon, her
Yeah.
bestie.
Who would you choose?
Oh, that's too hard. I think like if I could make one person with pieces of each of the boys, that's who it should be.
Okay. So is there like a celebrity out there that you would love to guest star on the show and be your boyfriend? Who would be the perfect man?
Well, I kind of have the perfect man, so
We'll petition for him to get on Heart of Dixie.
I don't know that he'd do it, but it's okay.
Why wouldn't he do it?
You know, you don't want to cross
Those lines,
Lines.
boundaries.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
So
know.
besides relationship, what would you like to see Zoe do in the next few seasons?
Well, oh God, what hasn't she done? She's doing a lot of weird stuff this season. I'm just telling you, as things go on, there may be some singing. I don't know. It's weird. Honestly, I want to smack her a lot of the time because she's so crazy.
Yeah.
So I think there'll be a lot of weird things.
Can you give us a hint of something you're excited for fans to see?
I will say that Joel's really funny. He has a good big episode that's pretty funny. I think fans will really appreciate him after that one.
Okay, good. And he's going to be on a few episodes at least.
Yes.
So we should get used to it.
Get cozy with Joel.
Okay. All right. Very nice. Any hints besides that you can give us?
It's an excellent question. I will say there will be some, you know, stuff with Wade and Zoe. You can always look for that. But yeah, just more Bluebell antics.
Okay, more Bluebell antics. Well, I think that's all the Heart of Dixie questions I have, but you are very fashionable.
Oh, thanks.
So tell us about, I know you're working with Schumann and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Tell us about what you're collaborating with them on.
Well, actually, my good friend, also stylist, and I together work with Schumann and design the shoes and come out with all the looks and everything.
How do you come up with your
Well,
inspiration?
you know, like sometimes things will be brought to us and then we'll make it our own, or we'll bring in tear sheets and things that inspire us and try to remake it, or a vintage shoe. So it's like, it's a whole process.
Okay, very cool. What do you say like your fashion inspiration is for this coming winter? Because it's starting to get colder.
I love layering. I love when it gets cold out and you can layer your chunky sweaters under your jackets and like just, I love beanies, just the whole thing.
Who do you think is one of the best dressed celebrities right now?
Right now?
Besides yourself, of course.
Oh, please. No. I mean, obviously, Kate Moss is always impeccable, but I love Alexa Chung and Sienna Miller, Ashley Olsen. I think people have really individual style and they just look make it look effortless is what I admire.
Okay. Well, you have been in the spotlight for quite some time. What is the hardest part about being a celebrity?
I really don't know. The hardest part?
Yeah.
It's weird to complain about something, like you feel lucky that you've been successful.
That makes sense.
And so you're like, I hate this. I mean, paparazzi, all that kind of stuff, obviously is invasive and annoying. It is what it is, Just grateful that I'm where I am.
What is the best part about having that celebrity status?
I mean, I get to meet really amazing people. I get to travel. I think that's the coolest thing is jobs take you places you never would go, most likely, and I think that's pretty awesome.
What's the coolest place you've traveled to?
One of our favorites was Thailand for sure. I had to work there and then we stayed on and traveled all over, and yeah, really cool.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you'd love to tell your fans?
Sorry I don't have a Twitter or a Facebook or an Instagram.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
This is why she's our girl crush. Watch Heart of Dixie.
Yeah.